Hello everyone, this is lesson 4.9 on transformations. Today in this video we're going to learn about reflections and translations. So the definition of a transformation is an operation that maps an original figure called the pre-image onto a new figure called the image. A transformation can change the orientation. Actually, let's pick a smaller term for the first blank. How about the size? So a transformation can change the size. A transformation that changes the size would be called a dilation. And we'll learn about that tomorrow. Position. So this would be a translation. Or orientation, which would be a reflection or a rotation. So all three of these types of transformations, two out of the three preserve the length or make it so that the pre-image and the image are congruent. But one of them does not, and that's the one that changes the size. So if the size changes, then it's not congruent anymore, but it is similar. And we'll learn more about that one tomorrow. So a reflection is a flip over the line of symmetry or the line of reflection. Okay, there are different kinds of lines of reflections, and then each point in its image are the same distance from the line of reflection. So the different lines of reflection could be the x-axis or the y-axis. Or vertical or horizontal lines. So a vertical line is in the form of x equals a number. Horizontal line is in the form of y equals a number. Or the diagonal line, y equals x, which goes up like that through the origin, or y equals negative x, which goes down like that through the origin. So let's do a few examples. Number one, a triangle ABC with vertices shown below and reflect it in the x-axis. So one thing you might want to do, well, if you're doing this on paper, is highlight the line of reflection. So there's the line of reflection. All right, so if we were to flip it over the y-axis, point A would be, if it's two units away from the line of reflection, then it's going to be 2 units on the other side. So point A, will be at this point here. And that point is 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. Or sorry, negative 4, negative 2. Okay, so notice the points for A. The x stayed the same, but the y's point was flipped because it's no longer here, but it's on the other side below the x-axis. Okay, so that's going to be the same with all of the other points. So the x is going to stay the same. So if you have your original image, x comma y, the pre-image for a reflection in the x-axis is going to be x comma negative y. So you can do your counting or you can use this rule. Okay, so B would be 4, negative 7, and this goes to negative 8. So I know that this would be here. And then C, if it's 5, 1, then C prime is going to be 5, negative 1. The image we call A prime, B prime, C prime. So that's going to be right here. So I should be labeling this A prime, B prime, right? And then you can connect your vertices. All right, number 2, rectangle PQRS with vertices shown below and then in the y-axis. Let's highlight the y-axis first. So the reflection rule is going to be similar, except the y is going to stay the same, but the x will change. So for your pre-image x comma y, the image is going to be negative x, positive y. So you can think rule, if it's in the x-axis, the y changes. If it's in the y-axis, the x changes. Or you can, graph it and count. All right, so P would be right here, P prime at -1, 2. Q prime will be a -2, 5. R prime will be a -8, 3. And S prime will be a -7, 0. So -2, 5. -8, 5. Oh, sorry, -8, 3. And -7, 0. Okay. And next we have what happens if you reflect it in a vertical or horizontal line. So here in number 3, we have the line x equals 4. So the line x equals 4 would be a vertical line going through x equals 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the line of reflection. So this figure is going to be reflected onto the other side over here. So the easiest way to do it with this one is just to count. So L is 1 unit away, so L prime is going to be 1 unit away in the other direction. And then, you can figure out the coordinates. J would be 1, 2, 3, so we count 1, 2, 3 in the other direction. And then K is 2 units away, so it's 2 units in the other direction for K prime. All right, and then just double check your image that it does look like a reflection. And then number 4, we have the line y equals 2. So this is a horizontal line going through 2. So you draw in your axis of symmetry and draw your reflected figure. So D, well, I guess I'll start with D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 on the other side would be up here. D is 2 units away, so it's 2 units away this side for D prime. E is 1 unit away. And then F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect your dots. And write down the coordinates. And I'm not going to waste time doing that, just to make the video shorter. Okay, so for number 5 and 6, you're reflected in a line y equals x. All right, so for this one, let's go ahead and draw the line y equals x. So the line y equals x has starts at the origin and it has a slope of 1. So basically it's your diagonal. So you go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So you can put a point here, another point down here, and draw your line through the points. All right, so here's the rule that we want to follow for this one. So what you're going to do, if you're reflecting it in y equals x, then take your original image and all you need to do is flip the order of the vertices. You don't need to change the signs. For y equals negative x, we're going to flip the vertices and change the signs. So x comma y will go to negative y comma negative x. All right, so first I'm going to go ahead and write down my image points. So we'll do -2, -5, 4, -3, and 1, -1. Okay, and then you can graph the points. So -2, -5, 4, -3, and 1, -1. And you should use a straight edge, but I'm going to be lazy for a minute. All right, number 6. You flip the vertices and change the sign. So it'll be -3, +1, -6, 0, -5, -3, -2, -2. All right, and then I'll let you go ahead and plot the points. And just for clarification, the line y equals -x would still have a y-intercept of 0, but it's going to be sloping down. So like that, slope of -1. Right, so this image will be on this side. All right, so that is all we have for the reflections. Now let's head to translations. All right, so guys, translations is super easy, but one of the things you need to be careful with is the notation. So that's what we'll talk about in this part. So translation basically just means to move the figure. So you're not rotating it, you're not reflecting it, the angles don't change, you're not changing the size. So just to simply move. So to vertically or horizontally shift or move a figure. And then here's how you're going to write it. So the original point is going to be x comma y, and then the translation rule is going to be given to you as like x plus some number h, comma y plus some number k, where h represents the horizontal shift and k represents the vertical shift. Make sense? All right. So write a rule describing the translation below. So first we're going to write the rule. So first you're going to do the x comma y, which is going to be this figure here. And then how far are you moving horizontally to get from d to d prime? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So x plus 7. And then y plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, how about the next one? X comma y goes to x, and now here we're moved from, let's just pick 2 points. How about p and p prime? So to get from p to p prime, you're actually moving left, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's going to be x minus 4, and then you're moving up 2 units, so that'd be y plus 2. All right, so in action, these are like combos. So first you will reflect it, and then you'll translate it. So maybe we'll just do one of these. So here's our pre-image point. And then we're reflecting it in the x-axis. So I'm going to highlight my x-axis. And that means that the points will be, so I'm going to write my intermediate points here. So x is going to be, remember what we do if we're reflecting in the x-axis, x stays the same, but the y changes. So -3, -7. So -3, -7. And then the y will be -2, -1. And then the z will be -5, -2. -5, -2. All right, so there, I'm just going to put dash marks here for the segments because this isn't our final answer. That's just like the intermediate answer from A. And then we're going to follow the rule for part B that says a translation, adding 9, adding 2. So one thing you can do is just shift it up over 9 and then up 2, or you can add 9 and 2 to the coordinates and see what you, and then plot them from there. Okay, so I'm going to do the coordinates. I'm going to add 9 to all my coordinates here, and then I'm going to use a different color. So -3 plus 9 is 6, -2 plus 9 is 7, -5 plus 9 is 4, and then add 2 to the y's. -7 plus 2 is -5, -1 plus 2 is 1, -2 plus 2 is 0. And I'm going to graph these points. So it'd be 6, -5 is x prime. And then 7, 1 is y prime. And 4, 0 is z prime. So that would be our final image. All right, so that's going to be all for this lesson. I hope this gives you enough examples and you'll get to practice in the assignment tomorrow. Okay, have a great day.